Hello guys, it's the Memer, and today I'll be showing you how to build this incredibly fast 7x7. It closes in 0.9 seconds, and it opens in 2.1 seconds. It has a volume of 1,862 blocks, and it has a 2-high top. And yeah, let's actually get around to building this. So here's the list of materials you'll need. Now that block of quartz can be any building blocks. I will specify which need to be solid or what can be whatever, but I'll just generally put smooth quartz as the floor. So yeah, here they are. Okay, to start off, you're going to need a 17 by 19 area, and the door is going to actually be 14 blocks tall, but your door frame is going to start on this level. So 1, 2, 3. You're going to dig 3 blocks below your floor level, and that's where it'll be. And so what we're going to do is build the bottom layout first. So we come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the 5th block, we go up 1, place storage like so. So kind of like this formation. So we'll have storage like this, right? But then we come up like 2, and then we're going to have a sticky. This is going to be kind of like where our double goes. So we're like right about here. And then for the reset, we'll have that, and this right here. Next, not only do we need to worry about this sticky piston right here to grab this, but we also need to worry about the how to push up the quint when we need it. So we're going to use a piston, an observer, block, and then a sticky piston. So that's that. And then we're going to go 7 blocks like so. And then we're going to build up 7 blocks. Next, we're going to build our folded quint. So it's actually going to be too high. So like so. We'll have 1 fold right there. And then the other one. Then a sticky piston. Observer. Then another sticky piston. And then to push it down, we'll have a piston and we'll retract it like so. So I won't go much in depth from the sides or how the side layout works, but I will show you how the top and bottom works. So closing, we use a 3-game tick clock from the sides. We push up all these, not in this particular order, but just to get you an idea of how it works. We push stuff up like this, and then we insert it. The storage is not the exact sequence, but it'll help you get an idea of what it does. So these push up, and here's where it gets a little interesting. We then take this down, we insert this, and then these sides will have pushed in their blocks, right? So after 0.75, when these blocks would have pushed in, not exactly, but while this is happening, this sticky piston will push in, and of course we time it in such a way where that doesn't 1 tick out, and then we push this down, we insert the sticky piston, and we have it like this. So, by the way, if you're building this, keep in mind that this is going to be your door block right here. So, next what's going to happen is we're going to tick this down, and then we'll insert it with a 1 game tick pulse. We then do this, and then basically we have the top push down everything, like these collect all the blocks. So, like so. And that starts to grab it. And then for the bottom, we just insert this. We grab this block. We then fold it. We then re-extend it so it can grab up. And this, around this time, technically what's going to happen, don't mind this, but that will basically, we use this as this is going along, and then that will retract, do that, and then this is what the reset does. But this observer pusher will actually come out to here, and it will bud this, so it will do retraction. And what the slider will do is help push it up, so this will actually have pushed up again. And then we retract this, we retract this, we retract that, and then this gets pushed up even more. Not to there, but like it gets pushed up to there. And so then we retract it even more, like so. We then fold. Not the particular order, but we just use these folds to do that. And I'll build the side layouts, but I won't go into much depth because if you know anything about like fast 5x5s, or if you've seen like Spacewalker's fast 3 wide wall hipsters, it's basically that layout. There's nothing to write home about except a couple things, and I'll make note of them. So first we have this, and then we're gonna have sticky pistons like this. But we'll make the first notable thing. So we're gonna actually have a slider right here, and this is actually how we get the time of 2.1 seconds, because if these were not zero, if the slider wasn't there, these observers would actually do a 1 game tick pulse, which would mean that consequently the side would have to be like, it would have to like slow it down, like the sides down by 1 game tick, which is really interesting. It's like how the inputs work pretty much, which is why we have that slider right there. And then we have observers like this alternating, and then this is going to be for like the observer sliders for later. Then we're gonna have target blocks, and then glass, and then sticky pistons right like this. And the reason why we have targets like so is because we want a an instant retraction on opening. And that just kind of helps do that for us. Next, we want to do the slider, the other slider, and I will go in more depth on how it works. So we'll have a block like so, wool, or a block, a solid block essentially. And that, oh, if I didn't specify, these row of blocks must be solid, along with this observer and solid, because they have to power the floor and the walls. And then, to make it easier, we'll have an updater piston. Now we're just going to mirror it on the other side, so your 7 rows of triples. Your observer wall to push in this, your sticky piston wall to push into these observers, and you'll have this. Your observer pusher mechanic thing, I don't know what to call it, but yeah, we'll place all that stuff there. And then that's that. Then we'll have an observer like this, same side, not same side, but the same thing. Targets, blocks, and then sticky pistons. And then blocks like so. And yeah, we'll have that. And then we'll actually finish with the slider. And then we can move on with the input line. And then, yeah. So next, here's the input. Before proceeding with the input line, make sure you have your updater piston, just for convenience. To start off with the input circuit, come here, place 2 blocks, redstone dust, slab, dust, block, dust, and then we're going to have 2 instant repeaters, like so. This is going to help carry up the signal upwards. So we'll have one like here, right here. Then we'll lead it up on a slab. Then we'll have it on a block. Observer. And then we'll lead it up like on a slab like this. And then we'll place dust on all of these guys. Next, we'll come here to this block, place block, slab, another block, slab, put dust on all these guys, and then a target, another slab, like that. And now we'll actually add it, because it's convenient, because we'll just add, will be for the closing. We'll add it like this. Bat. Sticky piston. Two-tick. This will actually be for the kind of the first row of the second row of blocks. They'll help finish it. So we'll have that. And then we'll come to the bottom, place a torch, grab your note block, and then this will actually update this sticky piston right here. So that's our left side for the input line done. And I'll add one thing before I go on. So the reason why this works is so this dust powers this piston, but on the closing, it won't realize it's being powered because this thing has just turned off. This observer updates it after 0.1 seconds, meaning that these column of blocks will instantly do a 1-tick pulse. And then after these do a 1-tick pulse, we insert these guys at 0.15 seconds. And since these are powering, right, this gets pushed up about I believe it gets pushed up at 0.2. This thing, it's pushed up at 0.2. So this column of blocks will power these, but they won't realize that they're getting powered because, well, you're getting 1-ticked. But they will only re-extend when these glass blocks right here end up in this state, which is actually really quite nice. So that's that. So we'll just mirror it to this side. And before I forget, we need 2 bits of things. We need this observer here, and this observer will actually help update pushing it down on the opening, because this also, it kind of re-extends. So it's basically a similar thing on this side. Only difference is it's 1 block instead of 2, but it's pretty much identical wiring. So make that a block, and then a slab like so. Place that there. Have it like this. And then a slab. And another observer. Then our observer right here. And an observer. And now that's that side. Now we'll actually wire the left side. Next, we're going to build this left side right here. So what I want you to do, come up above this observer, place a solid block. Then we're going to place another observer facing downwards. And then we're going to get 2 rails, place them like this. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to get a lamp. Not a lamp, there. hopper, place 4 observers like so, note block, observer, normal block, 2 observers like this, an activator rail, and then 4 observers like so, and then an observer trail like so. Next we're going to place a piston, and then we now have like the necessary infrastructure so that we can actually place where our clock is going to go. So a sticky piston, then 2 pistons like so, and we're going to have not sticky pistons here, but sticky pistons like this. Like that. And then we're going to place a composter. And then 4 of those guys right there. Next, we're going to grab this comparator. We're going to take an output from it, like so. And then we'll take another comparator, but we'll have dust come up like so. And it will kind of snake a little bit up like this. And then place dust here and there. Dust here, or not slab. We'll just have a slab staircase. And put dust on all these slabs. That'll be the first bit of the clock. Then we'll have a slab like this. And then we'll have another block like so. Then we'll have a slab. This has to be a slab so it doesn't bud that, essentially. And we'll just have this, dust on all their faces. Then we'll come here, place dust like right here, and dust there. And then what we're going to do is we want this right here to be redirected. It can be with a lectern, a trap chest, anything. It may be except to observers, but what your idea is, you want to redirect this dust because when the sticky piston powers, this line will uncut, and if we didn't have a redirector there, essentially this clock would screw up, which would be not good. And so we have our necessary things for the clock. Now we'll place a dust, and then a block, and then a sticky facing downwards, and then a piston. This is going to be part of the slider. Then what we're going to do is this. We're going to place a detector rail. And then we're going to have a comparator. We'll then use, in our case, our lectern, but you can use any container. It has to have the output of this comparator has to have a signal strength of at least 2, so we'll be able to reach it. So That's that. And we'll place a dust. Now, the reason why we have this detector rail or something to redirect it is we do not want it to power this activator rail again, because it would be very, very bad. Next, we're going to actually build the mechanism for the clock control. So we have that observer there. Next, what we're going to grab is a redstone block. Place it here. And then we're going to place a log right here. And this is going to push down, and we can essentially control when this reextends or when this line powers or reextends. Because when this cuts off, it'll power the clock. But when this, we can just cut it off when we need to. And then we have a 3-tick repeater there. And observer. Let me come in right here. And then we'll place a block or sticky piston in a block. That, and then we'll grab this lamp will be for later. But place that lamp here. That. Next, we'll actually do these sticky pistons. These will only do what they need to do on the closing and a little bit on the opening. So we'll first put an observer there. And as I said before, like if you don't remember, these actually, they get powered at 0.1 seconds, but they get updated at 0.15, so they power by that time period. Then, by the way, why this log is here is because it needs to help power this side piston thing right there. And then we'll place another observer right there. And we'll use our dropper, hopper, kind of monostable. We'll first place that there. Then we'll place a 2-tick. Like so. And then we'll place an observer. By the way, if you're building in this survival, here's what I recommend. You get some obsidian or some furnaces. And you place them, maybe furnaces more likely, because obsidian, it's very annoying to break. So I recommend you do something like this, but that's for building it in survival. It just makes it a lot easier if you're going to build it in survival. Next, we're going to delete this because we're going to wire our these inputs and as well as the sliders. So what we're going to do is we're going to place observers on all these faces, on their faces. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take our stairs, place them to the side like this. And then we're going to place some more stairs, like, I believe, like this. And when these push down, the fact that these stairs change state will actually update these observers, and that's really good. So we'll just push this down, and then for this slider, we'll have another piston, then two blocks like so, and a observer. Next, we're going to actually place blocks right here, and then we're going to make the slider, or the slider that powers these back pistons. So we'll have an observer facing up, and by the way, we're going to place a block right here so it doesn't mess up. And then we're going to alternate. But right here, we just want to place two. And we're going to place two observers like so. And why we have these observers in this column of blocks, we essentially need to create two zero-tick pulses that are 4 gain ticks apart, and this kind of allows us to do that. Next, we'll actually continue this line like so. Make sure this is a slab so it doesn't go downward and I guess mess up the clock. And then we're going to continue a slab staircase. Before we go any further, we need a note block right here. This will instantly update this one below because it will cause bad issues if you didn't have it. Next, place a sticky, observer, block, and this will actually do our clock control now. So what we're going to have is a 1 tick and two 2 ticks, like that, and we'll build a clock control, which will go here. We place a block, an observer, and then we'll place a 3 tick. And sticky piston, like that. And then we'll have an observer chain right there. And then a dropper hopper, but this is not like to generate any pulses. This is just to update an observer. Actually, I should put, yeah, I forgot to put it on the unstackable or any unmovable like item in there. And then we'll have an observer, block, or note block, and then another observer, and 2 observers like so. They'll do that clock control essentially, or this thing to control these back pistons. And then we'll have dust like that. We are almost done with this left side. We just need a couple more things. We actually need to control these sliders. And basically we're done. Because the clock is basically like the engine of this store. Like, it basically does, like, I'd say most of the work for the sides. It's really quite nice. So we'll have a 2 tick right here, and then an observer chain, and then a 2 tick. This will actually do the last pulse. And I will say this, why we have this 2 tick in this observer is this 2-tick will power at 0.2 seconds. This observer right here will power at another 0.2 seconds. So this thing will push down from 0.4 to 0.5. This stair will actually instantly update this observer facing upwards. So this observer right here will power at 0.7. But the thing is, what's interesting is this piston. So this observer right there will also power at 0.7. So this piston right here gets butted. But since the clock powers, this piston will power and it will update this piston. So this piston powers at 0.7. This piston will get pushed up at 0.7, which is really quite nice. So that's that. Next we'll have an observer, block, note block, another observer that'll take an output. And then what we're going to do is place a block like so, sticky piston, observer, and make sure you place a slab, and it will go into a 2-tick. This will then go to a 3-tick, another 2-tick, dust, block, then get your rails, and then place a block right here. And before I forget, yes, I remembered, place a torch there. That's very important for the clock, or else it will die. The sides will just utterly fail. And then place glass like so. Targets. And yeah, I believe that's the left side, and I will check if I've made any errors. Next, we're going to mirror this wiring from the left side to the right side. But if I missed any details, I'll go over. So when we're doing this, we are going to have we're facing down like so. 4 observers. I did it wrong. You want it like this. And we want a note block. Okay, so what I forgot to explain is why we have this observer chain right here. So something like this. And so this is essentially, it manually does a 2-tick pulse to these back pistons because, alright, so does a demonstration. Right after so delete these and I'll just do it from here. Right after these sides do this, right? So we have the observers will end up to this state, and so what this 2-tick, we just manually grab this with a 2-tick pulse, so that it'll actually be able to do the retraction or grab the pole. And then after these do a double extension. So after these we'll do a double extent, like an instant double extension or a 0-tick extension, right? Not only will these retract, since these retracted about after so they'll end up here, and then one game tick later, these will actually do a 0 tick pulse for us, which is really quite nice. And so then we have some observer, like as you can see right here, why we have this ob chain right there is it will help pull these observers back. So I hope that makes sense. So we'll actually replace all this stuff first. I'll cut to it when I'm done. So we'll continue wiring this thing after I did that. So, alright, same really long ob chain like so. Do our clock like that. Nothing new. Then we'll have a slab staircase right here. So I'll have like 4 like that. Thankfully it didn't do much. And then we'll have a slab, like, or slab staircase again. Like so. It will go like this. Like this. And we'll have a dust right here. Block this off. Redirector. Comparator. Lectern. Or any kind of container. Put the book on there. Sticky piston. Normal piston. Come round right here. Repeater. Then we're going to have our lectern. Like so. I believe that should be our clock done. Now we just need to run a wire these guys 3 tick. Get in here. Observer. sticky piston, block, normal block, dust, and an observer here. Now, you might be wondering why this is a target. It essentially redirects this dust, so this piston can power into it. That's why we have it like that. And then we're next going to do our sliders, like, again, we'll actually do the dust line first. So like something like this. Put dust on all these guys. Delete this temporarily. Put observer facing up. Kind of alternating like this. And then observers, dust, piston, and then another piston right here. And then we're just going to have the same thing right here. Like this. And then we're going to actually do our, next we're going to do the op controller thing. Like so. Redstone block. Actually, no. Swap these like this. Sticky piston. That's that. Observer. Observer. And then same thing. Make sure you put any item in there. It'll do the job. Like this. That, and another observer. Dust. Another observer. So that's the closing for those done. Next we'll do the other slider. Like so. And then we'll have it like that. And then we'll come up like this. Place 2 blocks like this. Like that. Block it off. what is it? Slab staircase. And then we'll do the controls. So like this. Three tick. A observer. And then a chain like this. One tick. Of 4 observers like so. We'll reset it when we need to. And then like this. Place our other shovel in there, or wood axe or whatever. And we're gonna do the same thing. And then a 2-tick. Like this. Then place that. And do the same thing. And by the way, each of the slider pulses, when I describe the second row, the clock this will always update for the slider pulses. It's not just a one-time thing and done. It does it for all the slider pulses. If you want to ask in the comments, go right ahead. So, 2-tick, 3-tick, 2-tick, block, rail, block, then that, and then we have all that stuff. I believe that should be everything on that side, and I'll go check. And by the way, make sure you reset all those sticky pistons. Yes, I actually forgot something. This will actually help push out these observers. Not only I said they would retract them, but they actually help extend them. So let's actually do that, and I'll replace it, and then I'll get back to you. Yeah, so essentially, like, don't forget this bit from this other side, and yeah, that's that. So now if you test, the door should close fine, and it should open like this. It really looks quite cool in slow motion. So now we'll actually do the top. Next, we're gonna build this top. So what I want you to do. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna build this top. So we're gonna fill this in like so. So we have room to work with. Like that. And then we should actually start work on let's place stuff so it gets more convenient. I have a 3-tick, an observer. We'll have a target right here. And then what I want you to do is place a comparator here. And then we're going to have two observers coming out like so. Hopper. Then we're going to detect these other two observers. And then we're going to place dust on all these guys. Then we're going to place a block. Then we're going to place a torch. And then we're going to have a hopper timer. Like so. Then place 4 items. This will actually, it's timed in such a way will help do the second to last pulse. Like, so when the top does its retraction, it will go from here to here. Basically does the timing for that, which is really quite nice. So that's that. Then we're going to grab a target. Like so. Then we're going to place a target here. Place a piston. Another piston. Another block like so. Half slab. That. Sticky piston. Block. Dust. Then we're going to place a barrel. Then we're going to fill it to the brim. Like so. Then we're going to place a comparator, but place this block right here. Next, we're going to swing to right here. And then we're going to place a yellow block. Not yellow wool, but like any solid block and a half slab. So then we're going to have 3 observers coming up like so. Then we're going to have a sticky. Wood. And then we're going to have that. A leaf observer. And then another observer. So a sticky with a log going into a leaf. And an observer and another sticky piston. And let me explain what this will do. So on the closing, this sticky piston will hard power. And then, don't mind this, I'll place some dust right here. And so what will happen is that this one tick will power, right? So then on the opening, what will happen is that this hopper will pass solid power, and that this will come down, the sticky piston will come down at 0.3 seconds, but this block will end up here at 0.35 seconds. Then what we do for another bit of the closing is we're going to have a observer right here and another piston, and then we're going to have another observer here, and so that this will insert this sticky piston, and it will actually do some of the retraction for us for later. So it's this is going to one tick this out, so it will end up like this. And then on the closing, you would think, oh, since this retracts, this will actually power. But the this piston right below this observer will actually act as an immovable, preventing this back piston from powering, which is really nice. Then on the opening, this sticky piston will actually uncut, and this which means so it'll end up here. And so what will happen is this, since it's uncut, this repeater, it will uncut this line with this repeater, and the repeater will depower after 2 gain picks, meaning that this top sticky piston will actually spit out its block like so. But then since this is retracted, sorry if I didn't, from the closing, this is what I was talking about, it wouldn't power. This will actually, from this log and leaf combination, it will power from this back piston. This back piston will instantly update this observer. So it will start to power at 0.1, but at 0.15, this will get completely pushed out. So it will end up here at 0.15 seconds. And the thing is, though, right? So at this retracts. In this case, it will do that, but so in that case, it will do that in this location. But what will happen is that since this top piston, it was just 1 ticked, so it's still on cooldown, and since this has just got inserted, this will actually update itself from getting placed, so it's completely reliable. So this bottom sticky piston will always power before this sticky piston, so there's no way it could possibly mess up like and power the other way around, so which is really quite nice. So we'll actually do some more placement like so. So that's that. Now we're actually going to come here. We're going to do the more of the extension. So we're actually going to do the observer pusher. So we're going to place a door, 2 observers. I mean, I guess you can place an observer and a repeater, but that's that. Then another observer, rail, observer, another observer, yellow wool, and then repeater. Next, we power this again. It's just like spamming this input multiple times. We're just gonna have 4 what is it? 3 other ones, and make this a half slab so that we don't bud this sticky piston. And then another repeater on 1 tick, and 2 other observers. Then another solid block that will actually take care of this, but we need some, if I'm not mistaken, there's actually a couple double pulses, so we actually need a sitting here, and it doesn't matter, but that's what we need. And so that's the other bit of the extension, but it's not the complete story. We still need a little bit more. So what we're going to do is we're going to have an observer. That will be for later. We'll actually do the extent. I'm just doing this for convenience. We'll have another hopper timer, like so. Comparator. A solid block. A sticky. And then a 2 dust. And then we're going to have a 2 tick. This is we're going to actually help do a little bit of the extension. So next, we are going to grab we're actually going to need to control it, we're actually going to place a solid block and then a redstone dust. So, alright, so in this, what is it? This hopper, place, alright, I'll do this again so if it wasn't clear, place a non-stackable item, a stackable item, and then a different non-stackable item. So I don't think you'll get any interference. So that will be that. So this will actually change signal strength so that this 2 tick doesn't get, it'll power when it needs to. Next, because here's the thing, but we have a bit of a problem on closing, so this 2 tick will power, meaning that it will cause some massive problems, which we don't want. So to actually circumvent it, we're gonna have a dropper hopper monostable kind of, and then we're gonna place any old item in here. It will just lock it before this powers, which is really good. And then place a observer on top. And then place blocks like so. And this will actually be for the 2 pseudos later. We're going to actually do the retraction now, which is fitted in this entire space. So first, what I want you to do is actually come here where I placed that block and that observer earlier. Place a repeater on 2 ticks. Then come here. Place an observer. Delete this temporarily. Place a 1 tick repeater. Then grab a sticky piston. And observer. Then a piston. Observer. That's the first double pulse, I guess. I mean, there's then we need to fit an additional pulse. So something like this. Then we'll have an observer block, and then and it's not a problem. Just place the block like this, and then two tick repeaters, and then grab a stair and do it like so. And I just realized that, like, after I do the rest of the pulses, we actually need this for the observer pusher. This will be very necessary, kind of on the bit of the closing and also the opening. So that's that. But let's actually finish the retraction. So it's really quite nice. So what we're gonna do, sticky piston, observer facing downwards, block, and then a repeater, set it to 4 ticks. This will conveniently grab this back fold. And then a repeater on 2 ticks. And place 2 observers like so. I believe this is contained, by the way, if you're wondering. Then we'll have a repeater on 3 ticks. And then a lamp. And then a observer. So this cobblestone changing upward state will update this observer, giving 1 pulse. And then that thing I built just there will give 2 double pulses, which is quite nice. And then finally, this the lamp is powered in such succession that it will actually create 2 pulses that I believe are like 0.5 seconds apart, or like 10 game ticks apart, if I'm not mistaken. It's really quite nice. So that's that. Now we're going to go to the bottom, because we need a bit of the bottom to actually wire the quint. So we're going to first place this op chain, and then we're going to come around like this, and then we'll come around like that. We'll delete this block temporarily, put that block, and then what we're going to do is place dust on all these, except for that. I mean, not except for that. We're going to block this off so we don't get interference from the clock. We are then going to place a 3-tick repeater right there. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to place a piston, observer. Make sure this is a solid block right here, or that observer that places it, that gets pushed down. Make those solid blocks. So, like, if you're having trouble in the comments, I will help you as much as I can. But next, we're going to come here, place a sticky, place an observer, like so. Place 3 observers like so. And then we're going to actually block stuff off. So we'll get a tripwire hook for later. We'll actually do some more wiring, I guess. Then what we're going to do is place an observer right here. This is facing into the sticky piston. So, and then we're going to grab a dust. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to place another piston right here. Another observer, a hopper, and then a observer facing upwards. And we're going to take it to the side like so. So this chain goes like that into this dust. And then we're going to grab this And then we're going to then grab a slab, and then we're going to place a 1-tick repeater on top of it. So, like so. But we have a little bit of an issue that this won't get updated, which is very problematic. So what we're going to do is place an observer, and then we're going to place a 3-tick repeater right here, and place an observer like so. And I'll go replace those blocks and test it and see if the top works. Also, when testing it, we're going to place an obsidian right here in our target block, so it'll be used for later. So that's for testing purposes. And so I kind of a little bit messed up. This observer should be right here, and then you place a dust like this. Also, make sure on the opening that the observer is like right here, so it doesn't mess up. And then we'll actually place a dust right here. Okay, now it should work. So this it'll close, and then it'll do the retraction for us. Next, we're going to do the bottom. So to start off with, we're going to place a block, dust, and then we're going to place a observer right here. We're going to just do the storage first. So we're going to place a 3-tick repeater there, 2 observers. This piston head, this observer will happen earlier in the tick than this, meaning it will be scheduled. This observer will be scheduled to power before this one. Sorry, I got it wrong. This observer will be scheduled to power before this one because heads of the piston will always update before the base. So that's interesting. So we're going to actually now wire kind of this quadrant right here. So place a block, and before I forget, make sure you put this will actually do the grab this. What we're going to do is grab this sticky piston from here to here. Sorry if that wasn't clear, which is what this will do. So we're going to have an observer, hopper, and another observer. We're just going to fit it in because of convenience. Then a 2-tick, sticky, log, leaf, or actually we need 1, 2, and then 3 leaves. Then another observer, and then block, dust. But actually, before we place that, we should actually do this. So we place an observer, and then a 1-tick repeater. That's that. We're almost done with this side. We just need like maybe one more thing, and then we can go on to this other side. We're gonna come here where you see where this redstone block is. We're gonna grab a trap door. We're gonna need some scaffolding. So we'll grab a scaffolding and a trap door, and we're gonna place a trap door on top of it, and then scaffolding so it can sustain it. Then an observer. It's going to be quite a little bit claustrophobic, but you can manage. So how about I just do that, and then we we can actually reset it. And then so we'll reset it first, and then we'll actually place a 2-tick repeater on top of it, and 2 blocks like so. Delete this block. Make sure you place a block here. That's, I believe, this side. Now, this other side, what we're going to do is we're going to come here, place 3 observers like so, and then it's going to kind of snake around. So something like this. We'll have an observer there. So it'll kind of do something like this. So then come up. Actually, we'll do. We should actually, to get some of my bearings first, we'll have a 4-tick right here. And then observer, not here, but actually right here. And we'll have another observer going into it. And then what we're going to do is actually come here, place an observer, place another block. We're going to have 2 1-tick repeaters, and then we're going to have observers like so. And then actually we'll continue this chain, so we'll have an observer there. And then we'll make our, what is it, this right now. So we'll have a sticky piston block like so, and then this observer chain will come up like that, and then he'll come kind of down, and it will snake right. If it's not clear, this observer chain it'll then go up and go to the side and go down. So right here, if it's not clear, and it will go to this piston. Next, we will actually then we'll come here, place a piston observer, then another piston will get kind of pushed in. So actually, I made a mistake. I don't know. We'll fix it if we have to. But what we're going to do is this will actually come here, go into a target block. Then we'll just grab a sticky piston. It will come here. We'll fix it if we need to, but or we'll fix what we need to, and it will go into this observer, then a block, then a lamp, observer, block, and then this op chain will actually go like this. We want this first ob chain to go like that. So if it's not clear, this observer faces downward, and we're going to do it like this. And then we're going to place a sticky piston, this block, and it's going to go into this observer. So that's the first ob chain that we move to the sticky piston at least. And so I think we have next we want, instead of this, we want it to go like kind of like something like this. No, it will go like this. Observer chain will go to the side, and then it will go downward. So it will go like this, and it will go into that piston. So we just want a chain of observers. So place some blocks. And then after we do that, we will do this next bit, which is we're going to place a slab right here. We're then going to place a slab right there, block, then we're going to place a block here, and then we're going to place a dust on all these guys. And that's that. So I'll place dust on all that, guys, and I'll reset it, and I'm going to check if I missed anything. So we're going to actually replace this, and I hope this is the correct configuration. We want something probably like the trapdoor to go like this, and then we're going to replace our scaffolding so it doesn't break this time around. Next we want actually this reset, so it will actually do it. And we also want this dust right here. And then finally, make sure you place an observer right here, and then a block, so this can actually do the reset. So we want it to be like right here. So place those blocks back, and I believe that should be that. Now your door, I believe, should be completely done. So I have it in slow-mo, so it closes like this and has a really nice opening. So now you can actually go and fill in your door frames like so. And yeah, thank you for watching. I try to explain most of what I could from memory, from building this door with a Renew or Char. I will put his link in the channel. It was like, the top was quite difficult to make, but in the end, we actually made a really cool door, I believe. This isn't the smallest anymore, but it's like the former smallest. Like it is like, the other one is like 6 wide, but it has like 2 entities. This is like entityless, so. But yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoy the tutorial, and see you later. Goodbye.